We all have values. They're as much a part of who we are as our blood type or genetic makeup. They are as individual to us as our thumbprints. What is significant to us is determined by our fundamental values. Values are who you are at your most fundamental level, not who you think you should be to fit in. They act as a compass, pointing us in the direction of our true north. Your values help you make decisions and set the tone for your life. But how can you know if you're putting your values into practice? If you spent time determining your fundamental beliefs, you might be wondering how to put them into action. Or more to the point, how to get more of them into your life. Being the most authentic version of yourself in all facets of your life is what it means to live your values. Not just at work or at home, but in all areas that are important to you. Your values are a compass that leads you back to who you are indeed. So continue to watch to understand how to follow your principles and live a more aligned and authentic life. Here's how to put your values into action. But first, make a list of them. Writing out your principles may seem simple, but it is the first step toward truly living them. Unfortunately, our values can be lost in the swirl of negative self-talk, running through our to-do list, or attempting to remember the one thing you need from the grocery store, since we have so many thoughts and ideas swimming around in our heads at all times. The mind-body connection to your fundamental values can be strengthened by writing down your ideas and keeping them visible. This is the first step in becoming a living embodiment of your values. By putting pen to paper, you're also physically separating your values from the rest of your ideas. As a result, you're establishing relevance and pushing your values to a higher level. Furthermore, writing down your beliefs will aid you in remembering them when it comes time to make a decision or stand up for what you believe in. If you're using a journal or notebook, make a separate page for each of your values. Then, as you continue through the rest of these phases, you'll have more room to add your views and insights. If you don't know or haven't nailed down your core values yet, read this article to discover how to identify them. Then use this list to determine your top 5 core values. Identify your core values. It's time to define your top values now that you've written them down. Sure, you could look it up on the internet or in a dictionary, but putting your principles into your own words is a powerful approach to connect intimately to what matters to you. Even if other people have the same value as you, it's doubtful that they'll define it the same way you do. Defining your fundamental principles also makes it easier to remember what each one means to you. Unfortunately, we have a tendency to take our ideas for granted at times. On the other hand, writing down our definitions enables us to solidify the meaning of each value in our lives and reminds us to stay true to our principles while making different decisions. So write your definition for each of your values in your journal. It could be a paragraph, a few bullet points, or a few words or phrases. The format is entirely up to you and what you find most appealing. Make a list of how your values manifest themselves in your life. Your underlying beliefs manifest themselves in various ways throughout your life, whether you recognize it or not. Some values are more prominent than others at different times, but they are always there to serve you and guide your decisions and actions. Therefore, it's critical to recognize when your values are manifesting for you, as well as examples of occasions when you felt aligned with them. These examples will show you how to live your ideals and build on these experiences. I'm sure you have an incredible tale like that if you look back on your life. A time when you stood up for yourself or your principles, or made a decision that seemed right to you. Faith is a fundamental value that I frequently hear from women. This could be a simple one to spot in your life, especially if you're spiritually connected. This value of faith may be evident in your morning meditation session. This could be evidenced by an answered prayer or a period when you had complete faith that something will work out. Whether we realize it or not, we are always learning from our values. Taking the time to reflect on the lessons you've learned can assist you in identifying occasions when your values were demonstrated. Write down how you envision each of your values manifesting in your life on your core value pages. It might be small, everyday actions or significant, life-changing events. Write down whatever comes to mind. Recognize when your values are out of sync. It's helpful to understand when you felt out of harmony with your values, just as it's crucial to pinpoint when you felt in flow with your ideals. These are the moments when you are the most likely to experience conflict in your life. When things feel especially difficult, or as if you'll never be able to get out of a problem. They can also make you feel stuck, bored, or overwhelmed. or as if you don't know what to do next. Something has probably made you feel out of sync with your values at some point. Begin by jotting down a few instances when you felt out of sorts or something wasn't quite right. Then take note of any patterns or themes that emerge. Consider how you feel or act when you aren't living up to one of your ideals. It doesn't feel perfect, does it? That's because you're not presenting yourself as your true self. And that's fine. In our lives, we all have moments or situations when we aren't our best selves. Stress, trauma, failure, loss, or change may all disturb our foundation and make us wonder who we are. One method to reconnect with who you are and what matters to you is to return to your fundamental beliefs. It's one approach to assist you in sorting through the turmoil and perplexity and make decisions or take actions that will help you reclaim your identity. Write down a few moments or situations in your journal where you felt out of alignment with your principles. Write about how it feels or appears to you. Please don't be hard on yourself for these experiences. They're all part of the one road we're on in life. You were supposed to learn these lessons to get back to the core of who you are. Take a deep breath, place your hand over your heart, and repeat this affirmation. I deeply and completely love and accept myself for who I am. If you're having trouble with self-doubt, self-judgment, or low self-esteem as you work through this exercise, take a deep breath. Place your hand over your heart and repeat this affirmation. Reaffirm your commitment to your principles. It's time to recommit to your values now that you've written them down. Begin by imagining how you would feel if you were truly living your ideals. Is it more pleasurable, balanced, healthy, empowered? Then consider what you'd like to see more of in your life. How can you bring more fun or humor into your life if one of your values is fun or humor? Perhaps it's through allowing your inner child to play, paint, explore, or dream for a while. To bring more optimism into your life, try smiling more or finding humor in any scenario. Write out anything you wish to feel for each of your values. This is significant because it provides our brain something to strive for. It can also assist you in recognizing when you feel what you want to feel and when you aren't. This self-awareness will help you recognize when you're in flow or alignment, and it will also help you develop momentum to keep those positive sensations going. Next, make a goal for yourself. An intention is a set of guidelines for who you want to be, how you want to live, and how you want to show yourself in the world. It's not the same as setting a goal, which usually has a deadline or an outcome in mind. An intention, on the other hand, is a course you want to follow. Your thoughts, behaviors, and attitudes are all influenced by it. Read over everything you just wrote to make an intention for your values. Take 5 to 10 minutes to meditate or sit quietly in reflection on these thoughts, if it helps. Consider how it will feel to live a life in line with your ideas and what that would entail. Identifying your unique fundamental beliefs. Living them is a great way to live an intentional life. Living your principles offers more stability and authenticity to your life because you know who you are and what you stand for. Living by following your values can also help you discover your life purpose. To learn more about life values, subscribe to Empathink Inspirations and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload.